Hi. Hi. Did you guys know, man, my beard's growing in pretty well. Did you all know that this month is brain cancer / tumor awareness month? Hold on. Let me double check that. Oh, not Pornhub. Let's see. Brain cancer, brain tumor awareness month, National Brain Tumor Society. Show your gray. Got it. Rocking the gray today. What's up, Nick? Thanks, man. I appreciate the help today. That was awesome. My timer was set for like 84 minutes. I was like, hell yeah. 84? What up? I'll take it. Exactly, Matt. Exactly. I didn't know that either. Let's see. I went live on TikTok and I made a comment about doing Law Enforcement Month. Like, what is it? Like, just show her appreciation month. And she says, oh, so you're taking away from the brain cancer awareness. And I thought, what? I had no idea. Brain cancer awareness month. None whatsoever. And Big Man Bassing, today is his birthday. He turned 54 today, you guys. 54. That's what Clinton said. Clinton said, yeah, my man Big Man Bassing turned 54 today. So happy birthday, my man. Happy birthday. I probably should have got some water before I started the show. I don't know, bro. He said 54. How's the fishing doing down there in Florida? I was going to say South, but you guys aren't from South Florida. Fishing doing good? Fish biting? They biting? They biting Biden? Just playing. Just playing. Just playing. Oh my gosh, now that's a friggin' sight I haven't seen in a minute. In like, I don't know, 15 episodes. What's up, Miss Piper? How the fuck are ya? They are biting. Fuck yeah, they are. And you go after, what do you go after? Bass? I mean, the name is kind of a giveaway. Is that your favorite? Bass is the favorite ones that you go after? Matt, you're out in Southwest Florida? I was down in South. I was in Palm Beach County. Trick Daddy is from Miami. Y'all, if y'all know who Trick Daddy is, it was the rapper of all rappers. Rappers of all rappers. Anyway, we do have a guest tonight. He's just going to be running a little late. Why do you always think I'm throwing shade, Miss Piper? I mean, I can't even joke anymore. My bad. Sorry. I'm not trying to throw shade. I was just fucking joking. Interesting. That is one of the gang with myself. Y'all are in Southwest? I thought for some reason I was thinking, oh, never mind. I was thinking y'all were up in like, I don't know, like Orlando area. For some reason, my mind was thinking y'all were in like the Orlando area. Bass fishing. I like bass fishing. I like how it's the fight. You know what I mean? It's the fight. So we're just kind of shooting the shit for a little bit until the main attraction pops up. Snook, yeah, I like snook too. I like bass though, man. It's just I don't know. There's just something about I don't know. My son hasn't caught my youngest. He hasn't caught bass yet. I don't think he's caught a bass. He went after catfish. So catfish was pretty good stuff. And then we caught it, and they were about like, I don't know, 2 feet long. So we just took them home, sliced them and diced them, and then Daddy just deep fried them, sliced them and diced them, and deep fried them. Fuck it. Fuck it. Yeah. I call all the bass, all the bass fish, I call them big lip bandits. That's what they are. I like fishing. It's fishing is a great getaway. You know, for me, it's like a lot of people go to church, a lot of people do this. Man, I like to go outdoors. That's my church. That's my getaway. That's my escape. My escape from everything. The escape. But I got a guy who likes fishing. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, he likes to fish still. I mean, he likes fishing. So, are you guys ready? The guest is here. He just popped up. I see him down there at the bottom. Y'all ready to you guys ready to rock and roll? Talk to a chief of police. I hope you guys got some questions. We need some questions. I have questions here. Wendy hooked it up, and just let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Let's shoot the shit. All right, I'm gonna bring out the chief of police in my little small town where I don't reside, but where I patrol and protect the common folk. All right, here he is, Chief.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
How's it going, boss?
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Loud and clear, Chief.
Good deal. Good deal.
Mm-hmm. How's VFW treating you?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Man, there's something on my screen here, and I want to move it off, but I'm afraid this laptop's a touch screen, and I'm going to mess something up.
I thought you were referring to this picture right here that you're seeing on the screen.
No, it's like dust or something. Yeah, the VFW is good. It's alive and well.
Good.
There's some guys, a couple of rooms over. I can hear them. They're a little loud. The canteen, you get a free alcoholic beverage.
Mm-hmm.
After every meeting here, so they're pouring those, and you got guys from Vietnam
to hang out.
From Vietnam to enduring freedom out there drinking some beers and swapping stories. So it's great. It's great.
Oh, that's cool. How long have you been doing that?
I started in, I want to say, let me think about it, November of 2019 was my first meeting. October or November.
I gotcha. That's it. That's cool.
Yeah, it was. It's been fun. It's been interesting. There's been some times that I've been like, it's time to just quit. I don't want to be here. But you know, when you get to see guys that went there and did that before you, and you get to hear their stories and the things that they've done since then. It's really cool.
So you think that maybe that's like their way of coping with a lot of the stuff that's happened or whatever, or what's ever clocked up in their head?
You know, I was really lucky when I got out of the military. You know, I fell into law enforcement. It was just kind of a, you know, my brother was in law enforcement, and I had some brothers from the military that got into law enforcement, and they kind of pulled me into that side of things on civilian life. But a lot of these guys, they don't get that, right? They just they get out of the military and have a hard time adjusting. So yeah, I think the VFW serves a purpose for that. You know, we can come up here once a month, and you know, we have a meeting night once a month, and everybody gets to come hang out, and we discuss business, and we argue and fight and yell sometimes. And then after that, we go into the canteen, and we have some beers and some shots, and have just kind of cut loose and have a good time. So yeah, I think it does serve that purpose.
That's cool.
Still have that camaraderie that you had, you know, when you're in the military, whether you were Air Force, Army, Navy, Marine, Coast Guard, and even Space Force now. So we don't have any Space Force veterans yet.
I was about to say.
But I'm ready for it. I want to talk. I want to hear their stories.
The aluminum foil caps, maybe.
Chewbacca, maybe. They met Chewbacca. That'd be cool. So, I don't know what you got in your mug. It's hard to see, but what I've got in mine is pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious. What's up, Alex? Yeah, no, mine's coffee. Mine's just good old coffee.
Mine is not coffee.
Is it Fat Tire?
No. So some of you guys might know this comedian. I'm not going to say who he is, but he said if they were paying me to drink it in front of you, I'd tell you what it was. But I'm paying for it, so it's going in my glass.
Right on.
So.
So Matt says, thinking about re-enlisting and doing Space Force. Not gonna lie.
Hey, some friends of mine talked about that, and we figured we would probably just end up deployed to Iraq anyways. So
that's kind of out of space anyway, isn't it?
We were like, nah, you're all right. Congratulations, you joined the Space Force. You're gonna deploy to Iraq next year. So.
Alex says, hey Chief, all I gotta say is after seeing that glass is go dogs.
Go dogs. Yeah. Well, they just give me what they give me here. I am an OU fan. But here they just give you what they give you. So
yeah. So you said, so how long were you in the military?
About 9 years.
9.
I joined in 2002 and I got out. Joined early 2002 and got out late 2010.
And then just straight from there, you went to be a police officer.
No. I did a little bit of nothing for a while. Well, I went to school.
Right.
The VA paid me to go to school, or not the VA. Well, I think the VA is the one that paid me. I went to school for a while and worked on a little bit of a farm type deal.
I gotcha.
And then actually the only reason I got into law enforcement was a school project. So I got started there, and I'm seeing that on the bottom of the screen there. And I don't know how to respond to that. So
I know. Yeah. These are my people.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So that's cool. I didn't know that. Honestly, I really didn't know that. I mean, I knew you were in the service. I didn't know you were in for like 9 years and then decided to just go be like a farmhand afterwards.
What?
I thought it was like straight from military. Then it was like, fuck it, law enforcement. That's your transition. I didn't know.
That wasn't quite it. I wanted to stay in, and I didn't get to, which is fine. I'm glad I didn't now. But yeah, I was went and did just some weird stuff on a farm, And,
don't please elaborate the weird stuff.
Yeah, right. No, we did. Wow. Okay, I gotta change this for a second. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm looking at comments and they're distracting me.
Oh, so you can see the comments.
Yeah, I can see the comments. There's a thing on the side that says private chat and then comments, and I had it on comments. And I can see everything. Normally I like to see everything, but it's too distracting.
It is. You should see my screen, Chief. You should see my screen.
I'm sure it is pretty bad.
Nuts.
So yeah, I did. When I say weird stuff, like one time I had to chase a donkey down a blacktop road in like July.
Yeah.
But the farmer was like this really old school, hardcore farmer guy. He's like 85 years old. And is there anybody from PETA on here?
Where? No, nobody's from PETA.
Okay. So
I promise you that.
This guy, I felt bad for this donkey. He tied a rope around this donkey's neck and then just lashed it to the bumper of his truck. And he's like, well, if this donkey's not going to run, then they were going to drag him.
Oh my
I'm not going to say any
God.
names. So I was like, hey, man, we can't do that. Like, I'm pretty hardcore, but I'm not going
That's
to watch you do that. So he said, all right, all right. So he hands me this little switch thing and tells me, well, if you don't want that donkey to get drugged, then you're going to have to run behind it and hit it with this switch. And so that's what I did. And it was like 2.5 miles back to the farm. So like I said, I did some weird stuff.
That's okay. That's the weird stuff.
I saved that donkey's life, and he hated me until the day I quit that farm.
Mm-hmm. Because you were smacking that ass.
Yeah,
you were smacking that ass.
Smacking that ass, and yeah, Wendy, you're right. I was
Wendy says it right there. You were beating that ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't know though that I was doing it for his own good.
Yeah. He didn't know that you were saving his life.
Big man bass, and I like that fish, man.
Yeah.
I like that fish.
So yeah, so he actually quit his job not too long ago and decided to go fishing.
Yeah. I'm close. I'm close.
You're close
to doing that. Yeah.
How long? Let's see. How long have you been in law enforcement now? Since 2010, maybe
2000. It was 2012 when I first started out as a reserve. So I was just doing it for free. That was when it was fun and easy. So
I gotcha. Up until now.
Yeah.
And now it's not fun nor easy.
No. Wait, let's see the.
You see mine
in the gray.
Well, how old are you?
I'm old enough to know better, but too young to care. No, I'm a ripe young 36, and I feel great.
Ladies, he is single.
I am single. Yes. I feel like I've got terrible lighting in here. You guys like the wood grain background I got going on?
You know, it's very eclectic. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So I'm gonna tilt my screen up a little bit. You see all these pictures up on the ceiling?
Yeah.
Those are past commanders of the VFW.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Does it go all the way around, or is it like starting to go all the way around?
It's almost made it halfway. It's past halfway.
Oh,
this
that's
is a pretty
cool.
big round. This is like I'd call it a 30 by 20 room. So it's a big room that I'm in.
It is a big room.
I saw that comment, Liquor Girl Burdette wood game. Yes. Wood game. But with your name there, I'm pretty sure you know all about the old mixing up letters and words thing. So
she's quite comical. She shows up. Her and her husband show up all the time on the podcast. I had them on February.
Cool.
Yep.
So what are you guys doing today? That's like I wanted to say that's enough about me, but apparently this is
it's all about police, man. I really was trying to get like a whole lot of people to just kind of just express, how much we appreciate you and what you do and everything else, because we know, the job is not easy. It's really not, but there are some easy parts of it that is just, it makes it exciting, and you got to have somewhat of a personality. Right. I think our department is pretty decent as far as like the personality traits are going, because we don't clash. I don't think. I mean, I'm not there as much.
We have a really good department. I'm really proud of all my officers. Some of us are better suited for other things. Some of us are more introverted. Some of us are more extroverted, and that's okay. I feel like we have a really great department. I was, and you guys, I'm going to brag on on this guy here, Vanilla Gorilla. A few weeks ago, he was working, and he got just kind of an impossible call. A guy was, threatening to harm himself and whatnot. And me being me, I was off duty, might have been having a few adult beverages, hanging out with some friends. And so he called me kind of asking for some directions at some places to go find this person. And I did the best I could to help him out. And he ends up finding the guy, and the guy ends up being okay. But just hearing him talk to this person who was really in a crisis, like was really not doing well. I looked at, we had a really brand new rookie officer that was working, and I looked at her and I said, this is why I love this guy, because he could talk to anybody. And that's talking about your, personalities, and we all mesh well. That's when I think one of your greatest strengths is you can literally talk to anybody. Like it doesn't matter. You could absolutely have nothing in common with that person. You're going to find something to talk to them about. And that's why I think you're a good team member, because that's just who you are. And and I can say that about you. Then we've got other officers that are so smart, and they know every little in and out in law, and they can see things that neither one of us see. So we have a great team, and I'm really proud to have you guys working with me and kind of backing me up. And,
of course,
making sure that everything's good in our little piece of the world, because it is just one little tiny piece. But it's ours, and we try to take care of it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I almost, when we had that guy in the interrogation room, I almost thought, like, because when we were watching him and we're trying to get the paperwork done, because this was like a time crunch, like we were trying to get that paperwork done.
Right.
And it was brutal. And when we're paying attention to him and he kept wanting certain things, it was kind of like, crap, dude. I honestly, me personally, I would think that he was almost going to start a fight with somebody, and his brother was sitting right there in the next room.
Yeah.
And I kept going in there, and every time he would look at me, he almost was like, "Hey, man." "Hey, man, how's it going?" And and it was like, "What do you need?" "I just want a tuna fish sandwich, man." "You ain't getting no fucking tuna fish sandwich, bro." Close the door.
Yeah.
But it was, that was a tough day. I remember that day very vividly. That was a damn tough day, because it was like 5 hours of trying to find this guy.
Just looking for him.
Yeah. And that took up my whole day. Yeah. And then once we found him, I was like, oh my God. So, yeah.
He did want tuna fish. I had Cheez-Its. I had cheese and peanut butter crackers. And he didn't want any of that. Wendy, yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I look pretty good in this camera. So that means that it seems to me like people don't really appreciate the size of old Gorilla 2-1 there. He's a big guy. And when you start beating on doors and he opens the door and swings it open, and you're like, no, I'm good, man. I just tuna fish sandwich is all I need.
I don't even know if that's what he wanted. Like, I think that was the first thing that came to his mind, was like tuna fish sandwich.
Yeah, he wanted a tuna fish sandwich because he was like, oh, tuna fish sandwich, man. I'm sorry. Like, please don't gorilla me.
It was a day. We've had our ups, and and there's a lot of things that, because I'm still learning. I still learn. I still ask you. I'm like, man, I haven't done this in a minute. Is this right? Am I doing this right? Because the last thing I want to do is violate someone's civil rights. Right. That's the last thing any of us want to do.
No, it's not at all what we want to do.
No, not at all. And so you want to make sure you're doing everything right. You want to make sure everything is going according to plan, and of course according to our policy and procedure. I've even told the story that the day that I tased the dog, and I said, and Chief was pissed. You guys, when I say Chief was pissed, I've never seen him so mad. And he was legitimately pissed. And then once I want to say once the pieces were falling together, the time frame, where I was located, where I was at, how I was aiming, and everything, my backdrop, everything. I said, then I think he kind of was like, okay, but don't do it again. So I didn't. But yeah, that was a fun filled cold morning that I won't forget.
Good times. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You need to start a thing keeping track of shit said in interrogation, right? Yeah, you should. I mean, sometimes some of the stories though that come out of these people's mouths, it was it's always a wild ride. Sometimes it's a very wild ride, and it's like, I don't know, man. I enjoy doing it. That's the thing. I really enjoy doing it. And people are like, oh, you're probably the one that used to get picked on in school. I'm sorry. Have you seen me? I didn't get picked on that much in school. No, I didn't pick on people, and I didn't get picked on a whole lot. I stood up for people that were getting picked on. I just took care of myself and took care of the people that were around me. And that was it.
Yeah.
But what do you do? Like, I already know what you do, but I'm pretty sure the audience doesn't know what you do. What do you do on like your off times? Like what does Chief do when he's not copping and not at the VFW?
You know, that's depends on the season and if depends on the weather. I see one of my first things that I've always done.
Sorry, I missed this question.
No, I see it. I see it. Big tricky Nick there. Do most police chiefs know the previous police chiefs from their station? I'll answer that one. That's a good one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, we do know. In my instance, I know the previous. So we're gonna go with him.
Mm-hmm.
I know the previous 4.
Wow.
That actually dates back to about 25 or 30 years.
So you've lived there for a while.
But where I work, I didn't live there till I worked there, but I've lived in the area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is a small town environment, so I would say that most chiefs at least know the chief before them.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually know the previous 4, which could be good or bad. Just depends on the situation. For me, it's been pretty good. You know, one of the previous chiefs from where we're at here, I actually talk to on a regular basis, and he's still active in the law enforcement community in the area that we work. So it's actually kind of nice to talk to him and kind of get a little bit. Sometimes I get a little bit of guidance from him, and he's with another agency that we work with pretty regularly. So there is that camaraderie, and you know, we've both been in the same position. It helps out. It's really nice.
That's cool. That really is cool. I mean, I know of one other chief. So Nick, Chief also asked the question once upon a time. I think it was like last year or something, or maybe the year before. And he made a question, and he was like, "Man, have you guys ever had a chief like me?" And I went, "Well, to be perfectly honest, Chief, I've never worked with another police chief. So, I mean, I got nothing to go off of."
Right.
And Chief was like, "Shut up, Harris."
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Chief.
So I don't know how to answer that or follow on that.
And then he says, the reason I asked because I worked with a guy at a dealership that used to be the police chief. Nick knows. Nick lives in Oklahoma. Nick knows me personally. Nick lives in Mustang.
Oh, okay.
So, and he also knows, I believe, some people in that town. So,
yeah.
But we like I said, we keep that to a bare
We
minimum as far as where the exact location. But yeah,
there's a reason. I will say, Nick, that there are some. When I say I know the last 4 chiefs, there are a few kind of interim chiefs that were here for 3 or 4 months, and I may not know all of those guys, but any of the chiefs that were there for, I'm going to say, a year or more, I know.
There's a question that Alex has. Did any of the resiliency stuff taught in the military helped you in your career in law enforcement? Or is that something you have just remembered?
The resiliency, I'm not sure what you're getting at there.
See, Alex is in the military right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
man, I'm glad you are. We need more people to do that. I'm not sure what you mean by resiliency. I guess maybe just be resilient to what's going on. Is that, hoping that's what you're talking about?
That's what I was going after. Like, maybe just be more resilient.
Yeah, that's always going to help. That's going to help you or anyone that's been in the military, I think, with anything they do in the civilian world. Does it apply more to law enforcement? Yeah, kind of roll with the punches. Yeah. Does it apply more with law enforcement? Yeah, I think it applies, maybe not more, but in a different way. Because there are days, and there are days that you do have to be super resilient. And there are days where, and you can attest to this, that you show up and you hang out with your buddies and you go eat breakfast, and then an hour later or 2 hours later you're having a snack, and then you go eat lunch, and then you go home, right?
Yeah,
there are days like that, and those are great days. We love those days. But there are days then where you show up and you work a fatality accident, and when you get done with that, you get a call that you've got to do a report, and it's on an abuse situation with children, and those are the days that you do have to be resilient. Yeah. So it does help. It does help you kind of roll with the punches, and that's how you get through your day. And if you're not able to be resilient like that, then it can be a problem. Yeah. So military life does kind of help with that.
I can imagine, because I've had the days where it was like just nothing was really going on, just kind of hanging out, did my active patrolling and just kind of cruising around the streets. And then that would be it. And then there's some days where it was just nonstop. I think there were times where me and we would sat down to eat, and then all of a sudden, as soon as our food came out, we get a medical call. We had to shoot.
Time to go.
Time to go. Put the food down and just got up and left.
If we're lucky, they'll put it on a hot plate for us. And
I've never
be there.
I've never been so excited, nervous, and
chairs bouncy.
What else? It's like all these mixed emotions all at once, just being new to the game, and going out there and doing it, and and it's amazing how quickly the training just pretty much like takes over, how it just kind of clicks when it's just time to go, And then of course you get the ones that are like, oh, I can't breathe. Well, you're talking to us, so you're pretty much breathing. Just relax. You're having a panic attack, or something. We'll still call, So yeah, there's those times.
There is something to that. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that everybody that says they can't breathe is telling us the truth. But there is something called positional asphyxia, which is something that we have to watch for. And you can still kind of talk while you're not being able to breathe. But that's, I don't want to get into that. That's tactics, and you could argue one way or the other on that every day. all day long. So, but yeah, there is a lot of people playing the game, is what I would call it. But there are times when they're not playing the game. We have to watch out for that. And I think that everybody in my department does a really good job of taking care of people, you know, because once you get in a position where you put handcuffs on somebody, they're yours. You have to take care of them. You have to make sure they're okay at that point, you know, and that's just that simple. So sorry, I didn't mean to get off on that, but
No, absolutely.
Let's get back to we talked about what I do when I'm not at work.
When you're not copping.
We kind of got off. Do we want to get back to that, or do we want
Absolutely. This will be just a conversation, just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah. So one of my absolute favorite things to do, yes, Alex, that's the job at the end of the day, is take care of people. 100%. 100%. But so one of my favorite things to do at the end of the day is go fishing. Man, I love it. My favorite type of fishing is bass fishing. I absolutely love to go do it. I haven't fished any this year, and it's bugging me. It's like a gambler trying not to go to the casinos and hit the craps table, but I haven't fished any tournaments this year. And but normally that's what I'm doing, starting late February, early March, all the way into October. And it's been a lot of fun. I've done it for the last 4 or 5 years. I'm not gonna say 4 or 5. That's a stretch. 3 or 4 years that I've done the bass tournaments, and done a lot of fishing.
I remember you taking off on a Friday or something and going just out of town for the weekend to do the tournaments.
Yeah, just take off. Be like, all right, guys, I'll be back in a few days.
Yeah. Right. No, Alex. He throws kayak on the top of on the top of the car. Yeah,
we just strap the old hobie on top of the light bar.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Sideways.
Yeah.
It looks like a plane.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like an airplane. It's great.
Yeah. But are you still pushing for the what was it? Like a sponsorship for lures, or did you get the sponsorship? Or
I've had a couple of little BS sponsorships and whatnot for a while. And man, I'll tell you, they just wanted me to do too much. And it wasn't enough. Like the payback wasn't enough. And when you really looked at their products, I just didn't feel like it was something that I felt like I could actually promote and feel comfortable doing. One was a rod company, and I was with them, and they were like, "Oh, we'll give you this discount," and they were decent rods, and I liked them. And then they started breaking. When I emailed them and said, "Hey, these rods are breaking. What are we going to do about it?" They said, "Oh, we're sorry. That nobody else has that problem." So, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry."
Well, take my name off this list, then.
Yeah, I'm done. Take my name off your list, and go pound sand. I don't want to deal with y'all anymore. And anytime, since you're going to act that way, anytime somebody mentions you, I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to tell them what I think.
Yeah.
But I've also started trying to sell some fishing stuff and whatnot. So I was trying to get that going. It's not up and running yet. Hopefully it will be soon. Because I got some money tied up into that, and I need to get some of that money back.
Yeah. What got you, like, just what was the attraction of law enforcement? Like, what got you to get into it? Was it just because of the brothers, or was it like, meh, I'll give it a shot? Or was it like,
so I had an older brother who was 4 years older than me. His name was Eric. And I was going to say you can look him up, but he worked for a sheriff's office
Mm-hmm.
here in Oklahoma. I'm assuming everybody knows we're in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
It probably wouldn't take much to figure out with me having the old OU glass that I'm drinking out of.
Yeah.
But he worked for a sheriff's office here in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was a deputy sheriff, I would go out and I'd do ride-alongs with him because he worked so much. And like, my brother was one of my very best friends, and that was the time I got to spend with him. You know, you spend a lot of my friends now, I might spend 2 hours a month with them, but I could go spend 8 hours a weekend with my brother. You know, that's pretty cool. So I'd go do a ride along with him, and we were on a ride along. We were on a shift one day or night. He worked overnights, and we got into a call where a guy was in a trailer house, little single wide trailer, and he was threatening to shoot his wife and burn the house down. And so my brother shows up, and I'm riding in the passenger seat with him, and he's the only one there. And so he waits for backup, and his backup shows up. And this guy that was with him that showed up, he's a great guy. I know him. He would do anything for anybody. But he shows up, and this guy doesn't physically, I just didn't think he could do the job. And I'm looking at this guy, and I'm thinking, that's my brother's backup? Like, I can't imagine my brother getting into a life or death situation and seeing this is his backup. And it was all I could do to keep from going and helping. Like, I don't care if I'm without a gun or not, I'm going in that trailer. And everything worked out. It was fine. But that's kind of what made me think, you know, maybe I need to start looking into doing this and helping my brother out. So that's when I really got interested. Unfortunately, I applied for that agency, and as you're aware, politics are pretty prevalent in law enforcement, and so I didn't get picked up for his agency. But I had a friend of mine that worked for another agency at the time, which happened to be where we work now. And he said, "Hey, do you still want a job in law enforcement?" I said, "Yeah, sure, why not? Let's give it a shot." And so about 48 hours later, I was a patrolman at where we work now. So that's kind of how I got into it.
That's cool. Yeah. So you would think that I mean, of course, it's going to sound like so shitty, but presence is everything.
Right.
And if the guy was a little bit maybe more kept or whatever, then it would probably be like, oh shit, that's his backup, rather than, oh shit, that's his backup. I mean, there's a huge difference.
Yeah, you know? There is a difference there.
And I get it.
And I mean, like I said, I know that guy. I know that deputy. He's a great guy. At the time, I didn't know him. You know,
right?
But the people that you deal with don't know you the first time, so they have the same impression. You know,
correct.
So yeah, that's kind of what got pushed me towards it. Because I'll tell y'all, the last thing I wanted to do was be a cop.
Right.
So
that's cool.
Here I am.
And there you are.
Here I am.
And you got voted in to be chief. That? You got voted in to be chief by city council.
No, you're a little off on that. There was no vote.
There was no vote.
Yeah, so I'm an elected chief.
Gotcha.
And I did not draw an opponent for the election. So I just won, basically.
Oh my God. So there you are, chief again, going, I'm ready to just go fishing.
Right. Yeah, just let me go fishing.
Let me go fishing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Alex, you're in the military, but definitely, because there was a case that I distinctly remember. It was court day, and it was me. I was there. I was not even in full uniform. I had no vest. I had no duty rig, no nothing. I just had soft uniform on. I was there as a body for court, and there was another officer that I got a call for I want to say it was an EOD, and the lady put pills in her mouth, and the son pulled them out or whatever, and the other officer's already been there like 3 times. Well, that lady ended up like getting all in my face. Now, when she did, Chief was on to my left with his taser pulled out. The other officer was on the other side to my right, like kind of at 45s, and his taser was out. And that lady is like, Chief, how close would you think she was? Like right here, right?
Yeah.
She was close. And she kept saying how she doesn't back down to no man. No man's going to do this. She doesn't quit. She doesn't do anything. And all I said to her was, yeah, but you almost did. And that must have hit her like a ton of bricks, because she went and sat down. I said, come on, let's go sit down. So we sat down. Remember that, Chief? We sat down on the stoop, and we talked, and then that was it. And I told her, I said, we've got 2 ways to get it to, we have to take you to the hospital. We have 2 ways. Either you can go willingly, or you can go the way that I really don't want to make you. And she went willingly, and she was a great contender. And we went in, and that was it. We took her to the hospital. But yeah, presence is everything. Because I think if you were more of a, I hate to say it, but if you were more of a sloppy cop, then I don't think she'd have been so inclined to maybe be so calm, I guess, in a way. Because I mean, I was pretty clean, you know, for the here you go, Chief. Ooh.
Man, I'll tell you, Nick, if I had known what I'd done wrong to get in this position, I would tell you, so you wouldn't find yourself in it. It's pretty rough.
It's a tough job, dude.
No. You know, in a small agency, honestly, it's all about just knowing your job, knowing your agency, and putting your time in. It's all it is for a small agency. Your larger agencies, they want to see you have a master's degree or a PhD. And so there's that. And then you got to still have your time. You know, you still got to put your time in and whatnot. So there's a couple of different ways to go about it. You know, in the law enforcement community, I'm like small time. Like, people look at me and they're like, you're from that place. So whatever.
But we are very active.
We are. We don't get.
We are a very active department. I mean, we do our training. We train well. We do our thing. We get it done, and then we go home. And that's the bottom line: is that we're just going to go home.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What's one of the I know probably people are probably wanting to know it, but they're just not going to ask it. But like, what's one of the craziest scenarios or situations that you've been in as law enforcement? If you want to chit chat about it.
You know, there's been quite a few. I don't know. The thing is,
Chris.
Yeah,
yes,
lots of paperwork, lots and lots of paperwork. Man, I don't know. I don't know what you would qualify as crazy, because at some point it's just work.
Yeah. I don't know, like a domestic call. I know those are the most dangerous ones.
They are dangerous, but I'll tell you what, I'll tell you about this one. I was still pretty new, and I got a call to the trailer hood, and
I know that one.
it was was a domestic, not in progress, already separated, and I'm still a brand new rookie. So I show up, and we got a man and woman, boyfriend and girlfriend. They've been fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Girlfriend, she's got a bloody nose and a black eye. And the boyfriend, he's got a cut on the side of his head, up by his brow here.
Mm-hmm.
And they both have bloody knuckles. Like, they've been fighting. It's obvious they've been fighting. And so I get to looking, and I talked to both of them, and their story was, her story was that we were arguing and we started fighting, and he shoved me down in the bedroom and pushed me up against the bed. So I fell on the bed, and he held me down after we'd already boxed, and we're now on the bed, and he's holding me down and choking me. And I grabbed a lamp and hit him across the head. So, okay. So I go to him and ask him what's going on, and he says, "Man, I don't know. We were arguing, and she just came up and hit me with this lamp." All right. So we get an ambulance out there. Ambulance shows up and starts talking to him. They check her out, and I'm like, well, she's got a bloody nose and a black eye. And they look at him, and by this time, like, the side of his head is swelling. Like, it's big.
What?
And they're like, we really need to talk to him. And so I'm like, all right. So they pull him in the ambulance, and he's talking about how he told me he'd already told me, I never touched her, didn't happen, blah blah blah. All right, man. So he goes to the ambulance. Well, I go up to the ambulance. It's been 4 or 5 minutes. I go up there to ask them something, and as I open the door, he's like, "Did y'all check her out? I'm pretty sure I broke her fucking nose." Okay. And so I was like, what did you say? He's like, "Oh no, I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Blah blah blah."
Oh my God.
Well, looking at everything, she did. She hit him with that lamp.
Mm-hmm.
But he did hit her in the nose, and we got all that worked out. So he goes to the hospital, and they did a CT scan, or I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm a cop. They checked him out, and they're like, "Yeah, he's good to go." So I take him to jail because he started it, and I had witnesses that said he started it. And thank you. And so I take him to the jail, and they go, "Why is this guy, like, what happened? Like, he is beat up. You're telling me that he has to go to jail?" Like, well, yeah, actually, he started the fight. He was the aggressor, and she was defending herself. And just because he started it and she won doesn't mean that she goes to jail. So that's kind of a little crazy story. It's not too boring or crazy, but yeah.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of times the people will lie. Both parties will lie.
Yeah, they're both gonna lie, right?
And then it's up to you to try to decipher between who's the aggressor and who's not.
Yeah.
Check this out. Oh, he got another one. I
got a refill.
Yeah. I'm not a doctor. I'm a cop.
Exactly.
That's exactly right. Chris is damn crackheads. Are these guys even available anymore? Crackheads, or is it the new one now? It's meth heads.
Meth heads.
So crackheads now are extinct. No, I don't think they are. We don't deal with them because of our locality. Yeah.
But I have recovered crack rocks off of people before, so crack is still a thing.
I can't believe that.
Yes, someone did bring Chief a fresh one.
Yep.
Where I'm at here, it's Commander.
Oh, so. Commander.
Yeah.
So if somebody was saying, "Hey, I want to get into law enforcement," What would you say? Go flip burgers at Burger King. Fuck that.
Go to the volunteer fire department. They'll hook you up.
Yeah.
No, man, we need cops bad.
Mm-hmm.
We need good cops, not just cops. We need good cops. We need people that do care about your constitutional rights, your Bill of Rights, your civil liberties. We need those cops. Mm-hmm. So if somebody is wanting to get into this profession, it's hard to say. I know that we're on basically a worldwide deal here, right? We're on the World Wide Web, obviously. Mm-hmm. But for where we live, Chief Commander, I like that. Where we live, it's kind of a catch-22. You can't be a cop without going to school to be a cop, but you can't go to school to be a cop without being a cop. So the best way to do it is to start off as a reserve or a volunteer officer. Most places that you're going to do that, you're going to have to pay your own way. And basically that department would sponsor you. You still have all of the powers and duties that a full-time paid officer has, except you just don't get to be a cop. You don't get to be paid, basically. That's honestly the best way, because what ends up happening is you work for an agency and you kind of make a name for yourself. And if that agency has a full-time position open, they can look at the people that have worked for them, that have volunteered, and they can go, okay, well, we think that this person's going to work out. We need to give them the next shot. And that's how we run our department most of the time. Doesn't always work that way, but that's how we've tried to work it. That's how I got my shot, and it works out that way. Now there are other places that are called post states. That's just a standard for police training, where you go to college, and once you get through with college, you get hired by an agency, and while you're in college, they're training you to be a cop. California is one of those states. Oklahoma has a similar program, which I'm not real impressed with right now. Having some issues with that with another guy. But there's a whole lot of avenues to become a law enforcement officer, whether it's in Oklahoma or Texas. You know, you're really just going to need to look at your state individually. Each state has a agency that regulates law enforcement. So for Oklahoma, you have Council on Law Enforcement Education and Training. You could go to their website and they'll tell you exactly the steps to become a cop. The same thing for Texas. They have, I'm not sure what their state agency is, but they're all out there, and it's really easy to research and look up. And then the best, another good option for people that aren't, in Oklahoma, contact your local agency and ask them, hey, I'm interested in being a cop. How can I be cop? How can I be a cop? What I would caution you against is going to your local agency and saying, I want to work for you. Because a lot of times we might know you and we may not like you. So it's like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have a position available. It'll be left at that. But if you just go up and say, hey, how do I become a police officer? Most police officers will tell you the route to become a police officer in whatever state you're in. And that's probably the best way to find out wherever you're at.
I remember doing a lot of ride-alongs.
Yeah, ride-alongs are great. And a lot of agencies all over the country do those.
I mean, you want to know what it's like to run a 8-hour shift or a 10-hour shift or a 12-hour shift? Go hit up a ride-along. I mean, you don't have to do the full shift. Just you get to see what it's like to sit in the front seat,
yeah,
rather than in the back seat.
Right.
So I encourage a lot of people to do ride-alongs. If they're interested in it, go ahead and hit up a ride-along in the department.
I forget about ride-alongs because people ask me about, hey, can I come do a ride-along with you, Chief? I'm like, I don't know if you want to sit in my office for 8 hours. I guess you can. It's kind of boring. But we can turn on Hulu, I guess. You could watch Hulu. You got a show you want to catch up on? You can watch Hulu and I'll do paperwork.
Yeah, you just bring your phone and prop your feet up on the desk and watch Netflix on your phone. I mean, it's whatever it is. I was giving out tickets for what?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Hey.
I can't with that.
You know, it didn't happen in my department, so there's not much I can say about it.
And you know what's funny is I try telling people, whenever something like national news pops up and it's all of a sudden it's everybody hates a cop, it's hate a cop day. Well, all right, hate all you want. We'll still be there. But if something happened in Maine, right, cop shot a crab or a lobster and it was unethical, whatever the case may be, and all of a sudden the whole world starts falling apart because this one cop and all cops are bad, right? And I go, and my analogy is, so if I went to Subway in Maine and got sick for eating that turkey sandwich, is that the same person that was over in, Timbuktu in Montana? Should I hate that person too? No, because that Subway is completely different than that Subway and vice versa. I said, so I don't hate all Subway shops because I got sick. I just hate that one. But we get classified and we're underneath this umbrella of, this is you, rather than we're not all the same. And I tell people that we're not all the same. We might dress a lot alike, but we're not the same.
Yeah, we aren't all the same. We all have different viewpoints. We all look at things differently. We look at everything through a different set of eyes, just like everybody else. So I would just let people know that that's a person. That's not just a robot.
Correct.
That's gonna look at the law says you can't go 55 here. Here's your ticket. We're not all that way, right? So
not even close. But I try, I just try to tell people, I just try to help bridge the gap between it, and if anybody has any questions to ask me, they'll ask. And if I don't know the answer, I definitely reach out and get the answer. I've called, number of officers at our department. I've talked to you about them. I've talked to everybody. So, I mean, it is what happens. So, but man, I know you're probably itching to get going. Your butt's probably numb by now.
Well, I'm all right.
You're good.
Whatever you need to do, man.
No, I'm good, man.
I think my crew, I've heard them kind of tone down. They usually don't stay very late, so
yeah, I get it. If you gotta haul ass, man, I understand.
No, I'm good. That's what I'm saying. I'm good.
Oh man, but I mean, it's 1 point for cheap. Look up the ranks for space.
Man, if I could do it, I would, but I can't. I can't. 2 reasons I can't. I'm retired, and 2, I'd end up in some stupid place like Kuwait or Iraq again, or freaking, call it San Antonio or something stupid. I'd end up at Fort Bliss, Texas. Be terrible.
I hear so many stories about Fort Bliss. I'm like, really? I mean, is it really that bad? I have no idea.
Well, Starfleet Master Chief. Yeah. Are you sure that's not a...
Is that a Navy thing? Like Star Trek Navy?
I don't know.
Starfleet.
Starfleet is like Star Trek.
That's right. Master Chief would be Navy, right? So I have a buddy of mine. I think he's already retired. I'm not sure. He's not been very active on the social media platforms. But one of the questions I asked him years ago, I said, man, when you retire, because he's retiring as a chief and for the Navy. And he says, when I said, when you retire, what are you going to do? He's like, man, I'm going to grow me a friggin' beard. And I thought, that's a good one. That's a good start.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I think Alex is being serious. Combined Air Force and Navy mixed with Star Trek.
Oh, yeah. He said Master Chief. I was thinking Senior Chief, which is, yeah. And it is a Star Trek emblem for the Space Force. They straight up ripped that off.
Is this serious? I mean, is this like a real thing? Like the
Space Force?
I mean, I heard the Space Force was. I'm not.
Yeah, that's real.
I'm not really following.
That's a branch of the military right now. Space Force.
Oh my
God. That's President Trump's era.
What's their objective? Protect the satellites?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I don't know. I don't understand that.
But if it didn't have anything to do with fishing or flying airplanes, like little tiny airplanes, I don't know.
Yeah. So you fly, huh?
Yeah. They call it.
Right. How was it? Didn't you have to, what was it, the other night? You flew, right?
Did a flight last night. Yeah. And last night was pretty simple. I'm still in training, so I'm not a pilot yet. I'm a student pilot. And we needed to do 6 more landings after dark to complete my night training. And so I went up, I actually took Herb? Yeah, I took Herb with me.
Nice.
He got to ride in the back seat. That was fun, as you can imagine. He had lots of colorful commentary.
Yeah, I know him. I love that guy.
I think I heard "This is the tits" about 78 times.
Yeah. Was that his first time flying? Or
that was his very first time in an airplane.
Ah, that's awesome.
And so we went up, like I said, after dark, and we did 6 landings. We just, spent about an hour flying around in a circle, landing and taking off. We did 2 landings where we did simulated engine outs. So we'd be flying along and we'd be in the pattern to land, and my instructor would say, you pull the throttle out, and we'd be idling basically, and he'd say, okay, put us on the runway. So we did that twice.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Totally buying a plane, Chief.
Yeah, we need to.
We're gonna buy a plane. Screw a boat. Screw a motorcycle. We're gonna go get a plane because we're gonna fly this country.
No,
I would rather fly, land somewhere, park it in its little hangar for like the weekend, and just Uber everywhere.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, we got this.
Yeah, because I mean, we've talked about this before. Because planes, like an older '80s model, is really not that expensive.
Yeah, well, I mean, you might need to go to like 60s model before we can afford it. Yeah,
but I also heard like maintaining them was the pricey part.
Kind of not. Just depends on what you're doing.
I got you.
But yeah, we can definitely do that.
How cool would that be? I would totally down.
We just have like a traveling show.
Yeah. Well, bad news is I'd have to get a whole new GoPro because so I was actually making a video, like I wanted to see how good my dishwasher was. And I had the wrong case on my GoPro. I left the back part, the back door of the GoPro to where it's actually a touch
GoPro
screen.
In the dishwasher.
It's waterproof, not the GoPro itself, but when it's in a case, it's waterproof. Well, I have the wrong back plate, the back door for it. So I put the wrong case on it, and I threw it in the dishwasher with a flashlight and had it. And I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. And all of a sudden it goes. I said, what the hell just happened? Open up the door and I realized it and went, you got to be shits me. So there goes the GoPro. I tossed it in.
Two knockoff cameras. You remember I bought those?
Mm-hmm.
I have both of those still somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. My GoPro is trashed now, so I'm pretty upset by this. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm looking at comments here.
Yeah. Are you? Yeah. They always beginning of their mission statement, space, the final frontier.
Yeah.
We're going to go search and destroy some satellites.
See, Alex asked above that, Cessna.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, I have flown a Cessna 152, which is a small Cessna. And I've flown a Cessna 172, which is still a small Cessna, but not as small as the 152. And lately, I've been flying a Cherokee 140, which is a little bigger. You can actually it's bigger than the 152. Yeah, the 172 is great. That's a great trainer. I've only flown a 172 in the left seat one time. I flew with my brother a lot, who was a pilot. And so I flew in the right seat. He would tell me just keep it on this heading and I'm going to take a nap, kind of a deal. So I thought I knew how to fly until I started taking lessons, and I didn't know how to fly. It's terrifying how much I didn't know.
Wow.
But it's been a lot of fun. So
it's expensive though too.
It's definitely not cheap.
How long have you wanted to do this?
Not very long, actually. I grew up around airplanes and general aviation. And, when, I was 12 and my brother was 16, and this is how long ago this started. He had he soloed. He was flying by himself, had his license.
Wow.
And I think he soloed at 17. He started at 16. And before I could drive a car, I was flying airplanes with my brother. And we did that until 2014. He was the pilot, right? And so I just flew with him. I didn't even learn how to fly. He knows how to fly. And I didn't really care to learn how to fly because I always got to go do it, right? But then, as you know, and not a whole lot of people know, he passed away in 2014, and that was that. It's done, right? Okay, he's done flying. Obviously, I'm done flying. And then I don't know, man. Last year, probably July or August. There's that airport that we drive by every time we go to our jail. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you know if that's what that is. There's an airport there. Yeah. Every time we go to our jail, we pass by a little general aviation airport. And I went by it one time and I thought, man, it'd be really cool. I just thought I'd stop in there one day and see if somebody will take me for a ride. Right. And so I was on my way to take somebody to jail when I thought that. And on the way back, I thought, why would I do that? Why wouldn't I just go in there and see if somebody will teach me how to fly? So the next day, it was the very next day, I had a day off. And that's what I did. I got up, drove down there, pulled in, walked into the little office and said, hey, who here teaches people how to fly? And they said, oh, no, it's down the way. Like, go through that door, make a left. You'll be on the tarmac. You go into this other hangar, and you'll see you'll see a sign up there that says flight training. Just go in that door.
Nice.
It's like, all right, cool. So I walked in there. I met a guy named Mitch. I was like, hey, I want to learn how to fly airplanes. He said, well, he looked down at his shirt. He said, well, that's me. I do that. And 3 days later, I was flying an airplane. So that's how that happened.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. First time I ever flew in a plane was my buddy down in Fort Lauderdale. We flew out of Fort Lauderdale, flew up to Palm Beach, and then went back to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
In a little, I want to say like a little 4-seater, like the microphones you had to put really close to your mouth, and then you had to like almost yell it because it was so loud.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I remember sitting in the back going, oh my gosh, this is so awesome.
Yeah.
And then he banked it. He turned and started moving. And I remember looking over my right shoulder, but I was looking down at the water and seeing the coast of Palm Beach.
No, that's cool.
And that was cool. And I really wish back then we had, at that point, I wish we had camera phones because I'd have took so many pictures.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. You know, that was the first time I was in a plane, and I was like 19.
Oh, dude, we'll go here pretty quick.
Heck yeah.
I've almost finished my private.
Mm-hmm.
You get your private pilot's license first is what you get. And I'm almost finished with that. And once I get done with that, do you want to go fly? We'll go fly.
Absolutely.
It's that simple. We just go get in an airplane and take off. It's pretty cool.
That's neat.
And you can take your phone and take pictures and videos. And
yeah.
go.
100%. I'm totally down. Because I'm thinking about buying an airplane. I'm going to get rid of my car and go buy an airplane.
Don't buy an airplane yet. I might buy one first.
Oh my gosh. That would be so friggin' awesome. It's like, Chief, wait, how much is fuel? Okay, I got the fuel. Can we just let's go to I want to go up north.
So here's the thing, like the airplane I flew yesterday, you're not putting special fuel in it. You're putting 88 octane unleaded gas in it.
Because it's a little combustible engine. I mean, it's not diesel or anything. It's
a Continental 150 horse 4-cylinder engine. It's nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Wendy's been screaming Georgia for a while. I think she wants us to go to Georgia. And I'll tell you what, the last time I was in Georgia, it was at Fort Benning, and I'm not real happy about going back there. Just saying, Wendy. Didn't like that place while I was there.
A little backstory. So Wendy and Alex both live in Georgia.
Yeah.
They're both related. So that's what's cool. Yeah. Georgia. And here, yeah, that's it right there. On the fly.
On the fly.
That's it.
Is there a way we could do like a live TikTok, right? In the airplane?
In the airplane, as long as we've got good reception. I don't see why we wouldn't. I mean, hell, the towers are up there. Why can't, if we're up there, why can't
should get better reception, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Look, Clinton says come to Southwest Florida. Now we've got people that want to see us run down across the country.
Southwest Florida. Is that like by the Everglades?
I want to say that's close to like Naples. Naples? No. Like Port Charlotte, Port St. Lucie, Port Charlotte. Yeah, that's West Coast. I was over on the east.
Oh.
But my grandfather was over on the west. He was in, I want to say he was in Port Charlotte.
Yeah.
I want to say that's close to where they were at. Here's Nick. I can't go. Weight limits.
Yeah. We had to do some serious calculating last night between me, the instructor, and Herb on, do we have too much fuel in the airplane? Will it fly?
Right.
So yeah, that's a deal. Hopefully, for too much longer, I'll have a rating where we can fly an airplane where it won't matter. But
I'm totally
Coral,
down.
Fort Myers,
Mm-hmm.
I was asking about the Everglades because I spent a week in the Everglades. That was super cool.
Everglades is like it's more I want to say it's more like centralized, but more towards the west, because we used to go to a place
The
from
Everglades is like southern.
yeah, we used to go to like there was
Like
a road.
This is the hand signal for southern.
This
by
is the
way.
hand signal for southern.
Yeah, right here. I do have all my fingers, by the way.
Yeah, in the camera, it doesn't look like you have like little nubs. They're just doing this. That's south of us, just north of the Everglades. Yeah, so they're just north of them.
Okay.
We used to go to a place called the Holy Lands, and it was where we were at down south, and the docks were, no lie, Chief, the docks were only like that high off the water. So when you stepped, it would just barely float. And nothing scares you more than all of a sudden looking in the water and going and seeing the eyes poke up. And then you see another set of eyes, and then another set, and then another set. And you're like, you know what? You guys climb fucking 10-foot fences. I'm out this bitch, and I'm off this. I'm not getting eaten up. Not today.
That's what I was thinking. It's too close to the water in alligator lane.
Yeah, it's intense.
Tricky Nick, man. Yeah. So here's what's gonna have to happen. One of you guys is gonna have to learn how to fly from me when I get my license to teach how to fly. I'll make some money, and then you guys can go fly.
I'm totally down to learn how to fly.
Yeah,
I love learning new things. I would totally do it.
Yeah,
and then I'll buy me a plane and just go park it. I'm out of here. I'm leaving for the weekend. I'm going to Texas, or I'm going to Georgia or Florida. Ma, come pick me up.
Yeah,
I'm flying in. I need you to pick me up.
Yeah,
I would do it. I'd totally do it. That's some fun stuff right there. So
it's been a blast.
I bet. And all of this before you're 40.
Yeah.
That's cool. Nick says he would love to learn how to fly a helicopter. I'm not so keen on them.
You know, I'm not afraid of helicopters. They just don't really get me excited.
Mm-hmm.
I've flown in a few helicopters in my military career. They're cool. I actually saw last night, we were fixing to take off, and there was a Black Hawk doing touch and goes at the airport where I fly out of. And they did 5 or 6. It was really cool. It was a National Guard Black Hawk. And so when we were getting ready to take off, like, we got our plane started, and I got on the radio, and I fly out of a non-towered airport, so use what's called a Common Traffic Advisory Frequency, or a CTAF. And I said, you got on the radio, and basically you're just talking to everybody in the area, so they know your intentions. Said, Cherokee 991 Whiskey, be taxiing to runway 18. Gave them the airport name and let go, and stop talking. And they came back and they said, Guard, Black Hawk, blah, 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 blah. We'll be departing the area to the east. Have a good night. So I got to talk to the National Guard guys over the radio. It was pretty cool.
That is
here I am, just like some random civilian, and we're talking on the same frequency, and they're giving me the respect of, hey, you know what? We're in your area. We're sorry. We're going to take off. We're going to get out of your way. Have a good night. It's pretty cool.
That's neat. That's cool. That's pretty neat. I like that. I really want to get in the plane. I haven't been in a minute.
Yeah, we'll go, man. We'll go. We'll do it.
Definitely take pictures.
I'm to the point in my training that it could happen middle to end of June, maybe.
Nice.
to where I'm done and have my private certificate.
Because you've been doing it for a minute, though, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I started in September, and did a lot of good stuff for a couple of months, and then holidays happened. My instructor had this happen, and I had this happen, and so we had to took like 2 or 3 months off. Then I had to restart. There were things I had to relearn. So, but yeah, we're getting close.
But you're almost done.
Yeah, it'll be great.
That's cool. I'm totally down to learn. I'll learn how to fly too. Shit.
But I can't officially teach you how to fly yet.
Right. Not yet.
But you can go with me, and I'll let you fly the airplane.
Because once I get my pilot's license, oh man,
out.
Yeah, you ain't gonna. Nobody's gonna see me. Where's he at today? Oh hell, I don't know. That some bitch is gone. Matt says, that's cool. They use civilian airfields for training. Huh.
It is kind of cool. Like, so I've been at that place since September, kind of coming and going and flying and having a good time. That was the first time I'd actually seen a military aircraft at the airport. You're putting those up too fast. I can't keep up with them.
I know. I'm doing it on purpose so you can just keep focusing.
So yeah, that's it was really cool to see that. They must have done 10 touch and goes in their Black Hawk. I'm not sure why they chose our little airport. Maybe it's because it's not real busy, and it was after dark. And usually after dark, nobody's flying out there. So
there might be. That might have been a
road
reason.
trips. We're flying. Yeah, that's happening.
Of course, of course.
I feel like you get a whole lot more street cred if you're like, you guys want to take a road trip to, I don't know where people take road trips to, but say we're going to take a road trip to Dallas one weekend. I feel like you get more street cred at the club if you're like, no, we flew here. And
exactly. We'd just be sitting back, put our pinkies up, and get the little antennas, little drink antennas. Oh, we flew here. That's awesome.
Indeed. Chief Commander Pilot, what's next? A nap.
Nap.
That's what's next.
That's a lot of work.
Oh my gosh, a nap.
Yeah.
So,
well, honestly, we've been doing this now for about an hour and a half. So
yeah, I think it's probably time to
cut it off. Man, Chief, I really appreciate the things that you do and keep doing it. And I know even though it's not said a whole lot, we really do appreciate the boys in blue, because if it wasn't for y'all, man, all hell would break loose. So
yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you. You guys do a good job. So
will do.
Before I get off of here, I gotta say, let's guys go check out what's my the only guy _35 on TikTok.
This is my name.
Oh, it is. This is my name.
This is my name.
The only guy is a whole nother thing y'all don't know.
I haven't never seen this one.
Yeah. Maybe I get it put on TikTok somehow. It's my YouTube channel of old. But anyways,
absolutely.
This is my name _35. Check it out.
Yeah, on TikTok.
You guys that are Barney Stinson fans from How I Met Your Mother, usually once a week I do a bro code post. Everybody loves the bro code. So
everybody loves the bro codes.
I got to get the old shameless plug in there, right?
Absolutely, plug it.
Why not?
You're my boss.
Yeah, why not?
Awesome. All right, man. Well, thank you again for so much for being on the show.
No, I appreciate you having me, dude. I had a
Again,
blast.
we appreciate you. Yeah. Anytime. Anytime. You ever want to shoot the shit again, man, just come holler. We'll do it again.
Right. Will do. I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to close down the old VFW post.
Yes, sir. I got to do my last little motivation thing for the night, but I mean, you're more than welcome to stay or haul ass.
No, I'll hang out. Hey, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
You guys that are listening, remember, thank a veteran when you see them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make it a big production, but just say, hey, thank you, and leave it at that. They like that.
I walk up to every time I see one with one of those hats. Yeah. I don't care if I'm at the grocery store or not. Old timer in a wheelchair or whatever, man. I walk up to them. Thank you.
Yeah, just say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
They love it. If you're feeling real generous and you see them at a Denny's or an IHOP, buy their lunch or whatever. Mm-hmm. They love it.
They love it.
So they deserve it. So, absolutely. Yeah, do your thing. I'll get out of your hair.
No, you're good, man. You're good. You guys, this is the part where we find this motivation. So I always find a little motivational quote, and I pick one, and it kind of sticks with people, and I'll read it a couple of times, and then they're just like, oh shit, because sometimes, you know, you have to really absorb it. So this one tonight is, if you don't value yourself, then you will always be attracted to people who don't value you either. So, okay, you guys, if you don't value yourself, then you will always be attracted to people who don't value you either. So think about that. Value yourself, you guys. I've always said that. Okay. You guys, I appreciate it. Time to go. We got to ride out. We're going to go fly.
Let's fly out of this.
Yeah. All right, you guys. We're out of here. Have a good night. Peace and hair grease.